Virgo, hi. So this is going to be a reading for May 11th through the 17th, and I'll take a look into your recent past, your current energies, and your immediate future. And then I'll close it off with a couple of cards from the universe for you. And these are general readings, so they may not resonate for all of you. If they do, there is an extended. At the end of the video, you can check out the link for that in the description box below if you want. Let's see, Virgo. The overall energy for the reading, the World card. You're in the middle of a cycle closing down. And I think you know that. But you're in the middle of a cycle closing down here. In the recent past, the Ten of Swords, the Six of Swords, the Moon. Okay, yeah, you felt it a while ago, while it was kind of coming down. There's a lot of things you didn't see at the time. You didn't understand what was happening. You didn't really, but you felt something. It's like, okay, I'm feeling something here going on. Like a sense of potentially an ending over something, a sense of distancing. With the moon being there, I feel like a lot of things you didn't put together from the get-go here, you know. But in the current situation, the Four of Pentacles, the Ten of Wands, the Five of Swords, you're hanging on to really, 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 really heavy energies. And it's quite deceptive because I see you knowing that you do that. That could mean something like the situation may be difficult, but it's going to be as difficult as we make it too sometimes. So it doesn't have to be so hard. It doesn't have to be so complicated. It is in its own right, you know. We don't have to make it even harder. So, yeah. In the immediate future, the Tower, the Ten of Pentacles, the Page of Swords. If you're kind of in the stages of anticipating the worst case scenario, the worst case scenario is happening here. And surprise, surprise, it's not looking that bad. Yeah, something's happening. Yeah, something's crashing. Yeah, a cycle might be coming to a close completely. But after that, you know, the aftermath of that, I kind of look at your energy and I'm like, I'm seeing you being like, oh, it wasn't as bad as I thought. Well, that's the thing. It's as we make it. The situation is going to be as bad as we make it sometimes. And I think this is one of those times for you. You know, so it's your mind that's going to go out there and create stories about what's going on instead of letting what's going on go on. You know what I mean? Sometimes. Let's clarify. Let me do the World card. The Six of Cups, the High Priestess, the King of Swords. Yeah, there's a soul connection here attached to you. Part of this cycle coming to a close. I think at this moment in time, both parties know that this is a cycle that's going down. It's closing off. That's it. You know, I think there's awareness around that. If before it was like, maybe, no. Right now, there's full-on awareness. Like, yeah, this is what's happening. Chapter closed here pretty soon. For the Ten of Swords in the recent past, you get the King of Pentacles, the Wheel of Fortune, the Two of Cups. Okay, so the situation kind of went on and off and on and off and on and off for who knows how long, until a point in which you felt something different to it. A sense of, I don't think this on and on is going to go on for so long anymore. You know, I think at some point and soon, it'll be done. Let's do the Six of Swords. For the Six of Swords, you get the Eight of Swords, the Two of Swords, the Ace of Swords. Yeah, that's the thing. You were in that period of time in which you could see that things were happening. You could feel that things were happening. You just didn't know what to do about this whole situation. And because things were changing within the situation, potentially even going south, visibly, maybe you started panicking a little bit and kind of taking it all up here, and you started overthinking. And that's where I kind of see you a little bit in the dark over what's really going on there in the past. You know, not right now. Right now I feel like there's a little more clarity, but still, there's still too much of this at play. And I don't know how much that helped, because I see you doing things from that confusing space in your mind. So whatever stories you told yourself up there, That's where you made decisions from. That's where you are coming from. At that moment in time, at least. Again, things weren't clear, and they weren't supposed to be back then. You know, things were happening slowly. Kind of the dust settling slowly. And then you probably, your mind told you, nah, that's not dust. That's who knows what volcanic ash. And, you know, like, nah. So let's do something here. So you interfered with the process of things without knowing that you were, because I don't think that was your intention. But for the moon, you get the 9 of Wands, the Judgment card, the Ace of Cups. Yeah, and you didn't want it to be ash or smoke or, you know, toxic rain or whatever the fuck. Because you want, you know, in your heart of hearts, you were hoping things are going to work out in the best way possible here. You know, you were wanting for things to be the best story of your life type of a deal. You know what I mean? So, because you weren't in touch with all of these things at that time, and not even with yourself, connected to yourself truly to figure out what's going on internally, what am I feeling here? You know, what do I want? What's my intention? No, you were up here. So because of all of that, things might have gone quite all over the map here. In a situation you were dealing with, as far as you're concerned, potentially as far as they're concerned, because you bring that type of an energy to the table, the response, I assume, would be fairly similar to what I'm seeing on this end. For the 4 of Pentacles, in the current situation, you get the World card, the Emperor, the 7 of Cups. Yeah, you're in a different space now. Where, at least from an energetic standpoint, you're definitely showing up super clear that, yep, I'm in the middle of this going down. The cycle is closing off, so I might as well start focusing on the next chapter here. So you're in that space. Much more clear than the past there. In which you didn't see, but because you didn't see, you had to act. But then what are you going to act on if you don't see this full story, the full picture? Well, whatever I think is happening. And yeah, no, you're in a much more steady place and clear, you know. Not feeling good? Sure, it's not feeling the best, but at least you know more, you know. For the current situation, for the 10 of Wands, you get the 4 of Cups, the 4 of Pentacles, the Queen of Swords. Yeah, you're upset, understandably. You know, it's not easy to go through endings of chapters in our lives. It's not, you know, it's pressing, it's hard. You don't want to be upset. I can see that too, being like, I don't want to be upset about it. Well, you are. And again, the energy is hard already, and I kind of see you holding it from that space in which you make it feel harder, because it's like, it's an energy. Energy passes. If you let it, it's going to pass right through you. Yeah, you're going to feel sad. It's going to feel hard. It's going to feel this, that, and the other, but you got to let it go. If you hang on to it by actually trying to resist it, because that's how we hang on to them. We try to not feel that way. It's going to grow. It's going to get bigger, and it's not going anywhere. It's not passing. It's like, ooh, I found some source of feeding myself here. So it's just going to grow, you know, by not allowing yourself to feel what it is that you are feeling, sad, upset, whatever this makes you feel. You're just hanging on to this energy. And not only that, you're making it bigger. So you're going to feel even more sad and more this, more that, you know. For the 5 of Swords, in the current situation, you get the Strength card, the 3 of Wands, the 6 of Swords. You're, again, it's how hard we make it. The situation is hard. As I mentioned, to begin with, your energy seems to be clearly in a space of this is done, so let me focus on what's next. When it comes to this is done, you're just not letting yourself feel the heaviness of that, and then you're just making that bigger. And then when it comes to the next chapter, you're like, oh, I don't know what I'll do. I don't know. It's hard. I have nothing. No, you don't. That's the point of a next chapter. It's blank. It's a blank page. You get to do whatever you want with it. You know, so you don't have to have anything set. The mind wants you to. You know, the mind wants to know, what do I got? I need to work with something here. What if you don't know? What are you going to do? Because if the mind goes at this from the angle of, I need to know and I need to be sure that that's what's going to happen, you're just screwing yourself a little bit in there. You know, this is the part in which this experience that you're going through requires a lot of trust and not knowing. And I know that's the toughest little bitch that we can possibly deal with. But all this wants is trust in the unknown. You know? And not a Virgo, a Virgo Al Pacino, I'm in the dark here. No, none of that. None of that. Because that's where you're kind of taking this. While energetically speaking, you're super clear where things are and what's happening and what's not happening and what you don't know. And it's fine. Next chapter, please. Blank page. I'm good. You know, this is what this does. You know, try to connect a little more with your heart, as uncomfortable as that is, because it might actually help you just let the energies pass and trust. You know, in the immediate future for the Tower, you get the Sun, the Justice card, the Eight of Pentacles. Again, you might surprise yourself here, because coming from this space of the mind in which we can conjure up quite the worst case scenario, piece of cake, we can go beyond that. And we can, what worst case scenario? You mean 10 worst case scenarios? Yeah, that's what I'll have, you know? Yeah, your mind can do that. You might surprise yourself. It might not be that bad. And let me tell you another secret. It usually isn't. We make it that bad. You know? Because I see something happening. Yes, potentially the ending of the cycle is finally in place. And you're like, you're almost coming in with a sense of relief. A sense of, oh. Because I feel like you're finally done with feeling this way and doing all these things, and you know, so for the 10 of Pentacles in the immediate future, you get the 7 of Pentacles, the Moon, the 9 of Pentacles. You're starting to see the things you didn't see in the past, which makes sense. You know, once it's all said and done, things are going to start coming to you. So see, you were in the dark there too. I know, I can see you in your head about it, being like, no, I need to know. I need to, how do I know? I don't know. Oh my God, fears. Oh my God, insecurities. Oh my God, everything. Yeah, you got yourself in that dark, you know. Not knowing, you know, you just needed to not know and just kind of go through the steps of the process that you were in. And same here. This one requires your trust too. But right now you're showing up a little more, you know, tuned into yourself. So hopefully you can get to that place of trust, because things will be revealed as you go. You don't need to know them when you think you need to know them. They'll show up when they need to show up. The things you didn't know, you'll know. You know, and the things you didn't know that you don't even need to know, you won't know. And that's okay too. But yeah, things from that period of time in which you were completely in the darkness, no, and they'll show up. They'll start revealing themselves. For the Page of Swords, you get the 4 of Swords, the Queen of Cups, the Chariot. I'm not seeing a worst case scenario. I'm seeing a best case scenario here. You know, you come at it with, oh my God, what's gonna happen? What's gonna happen? What's gonna happen? And then I'm seeing all good things. Like the minute it's done, you're showing up great in your energy. You're going, you know, towards this new cycle that you don't know shit about. But as long as you keep yourself present through it and trusting that you'll be, you know, if you fall, the universe is going to catch you there. You're good to go. Open heart. Awesome. You know? New page. Because this page that you're in right now, ooh, man. You know? So, it's not making you feel the best. But this new one, you get to do whatever the hell you want with it. So, from the universe for you, as a final advice, the King of Swords, the King of Cups, the Chariot. The universe is with you guys, with the earth signs, apparently. The universe is like, you're doing it. You're doing it right. You're doing it good. You're okay. You're okay here. You're on the right track here. I would assume so, yeah. Even if you think, oh my God, I'm overthinking and I'm a mess and I'm doing this and I'm doing that, how am I on the right track? You are. Even when you think you're not. And in this process, if the universe said it, who am I to disagree? You're on the right track. So, that's what I have for you. Hope this helped, and I'll see you next time. Bye.